here for second half action. Davis Barlow joined by Piedmont legend Amari Pice. Amari, I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
This is a big throwback for me. Obviously, you played here while I went here, 2016 to 2020. I think it's probably quicker for me to not name what you lead the program in as far as career goes.
Oh,
but
wow.
A fantastic career here, 1,000-point career, all-time leading scorer. It's great to have you back. What's it like being back in Cave Arena all these years later?
I definitely love coming back. It's nice to see what the program has turned into, how Purdy's still coaching the team very well. And yeah.
And the team locked in a dogfight right now. 35-34 as we come out of half. That is a cross-court pass that turns into a turnover there for Andolyn Hill. Leading scorer for the Hawks, Magruder. She is the only player in double digits with 10. Piedmont, Alexandria Willis, 7 points there, but it's an all-around effort from the Lady Lions. 7 different ladies involved in the goal scoring. That's a tough rebound there for Hill. Good board as she'll walk this one up the floor. Big dive down inside. Henson thought about pulling it. Now it's back to Hill. Feed to Willis. She's stripped by Magruder. Big turnover there. So, Amari, quite the career here for Piedmont. USA South Championship as well. What was it like to really compete for someone like Jamie Purdy and for an atmosphere like this one?
Well, playing with Purdy was always like... Freshman year was kind of scary. Everybody comes in intimidated by Purdy, but as the years go on and as I'm like able to pretty much just bond with her, we had a pretty good connection. So I knew what she wanted from me, what she wanted from the team, and I made sure I was that liaison between the players and her. And
one of the biggest things people talk about with Jamie Purdy is expectation. And what is the expectation that she sets, really not only for players, but for young adults trying to really find themselves?
Really, she just... wow. That's funny. But, sorry, what was the question again?
Well, just the expectation that Purdy sets just as a young adult, like beyond the court, as we have this awkward moment where the ball's stuck.
Yeah, she definitely just wants to make sure everybody grows up to be a nice and respectful person. They're able to pretty much just carry themselves well and represent themselves and the team.
I know you had plenty of success on and off the court here, and your journey took you overseas to play ball. What was it like going to foreign countries to play the game that you love as Hill finds the bottom of the net?
It was actually like amazing. I was so blessed to actually have the opportunity. I ended up coming back because there were some injuries and just some problems with visa and stuff. But while I was over there, it was definitely a nice experience to have.
Kinston Davis knocks down that 3, and we're all tied here in Cave Arena. Amari, how many different countries did you get to visit while overseas?
I got to visit at least 5 or 6 countries. I'm not really sure. But I went Iceland, Portugal, Italy, Spain, Scotland, and then I lived in England.
That's so cool. What was your favorite country to see? My favorite country to see was definitely Iceland. That was very beautiful. I went on New Year's for 2021, or coming into 2022. That was a nice experience, getting to see the Northern Lights and the fireworks at the same time. That was actually awesome. And that's an incredible jump, really, from small town Demorest playing here to being able to play overseas and see all these amazing feats. What's the biggest thing that you learned? Is this is a full scramble and we'll get a kick ball. What's the biggest thing you learned here in Cave Arena that you were able to translate while you were overseas hooping? The biggest thing I learned was pretty much just, I don't know, it's just, I feel like anything overseas pretty much translated well. I lived in a country where they spoke English, so I didn't have to change myself at all or anything. Yeah, everything just translated. I love that. I'd love something to translate into a bucket for the Lady Lions here, as Willis didn't get the putback to go. Hill as well couldn't do it, and then we'll get a push. They'll get it on Hill, I believe, as she checks out. That's her second personal foul. Woolfolk will check in for her. What do you like out of this Lady Lions team, and what's one thing that they could adjust here? Oh, I definitely love the little spunk that Lakin brings to the team. She always brings a lot of energy. I love seeing that. And I also love what
This is a tough jump shot from
But Alex is
Kinston
bringing
Davis.
as well. Alex is very strong in the paint, and I feel like if they get her the ball enough, they will definitely be able to dominate the next couple of games.
Yeah, Alex is leading the scoring for Piedmont here. The 6'1" freshman from Dallas, Georgia. So that's a good bucket for the Lady Lions to once again tie this game up. A lot of youth as well as experience. Of course, you mentioned Lakin, Lou, Ashley, some of the older seniors there that see a lot of playing time. And then the two young freshmen on the floor is Hinson right on cue, gets the takeaway but throws that one away. Deshauna foot floater won't go. Foot rebound of her own. And, hard foul. Hinson got her money's worth on that one. When you played here, how was the mix of freshmen compared to seniors, and really how does that whole dynamic shake out on the court?
The first couple of years, I feel like, my freshman year, there was a big freshman group that came in, and it was kind of tough adjusting, but I feel like January, everybody was able to mesh together very well, and I feel like that might happen this season as well. I feel like there's a lot of freshmen on this team, and hopefully by the end of this month, they will get everything situated.
And of course, January, February into early March are your big money times. Conference play starts. And of course, Piedmont was in the USA South as that's a missed free throw, and Magruder mops that one up and can't get her own rebound after the missed layup there. Gives away the foul. I believe that's her third. No, it's going to be just her first. The injury in the first quarter actually kept her out of decent bit of trouble here. The USA South, of course, still does exist, but Piedmont to the CCS here. What's one thing that a team has to have in order to win a title?
They definitely just have to have a lot of ferocity. There's a lot of timidness in some of these teams, and in some of the games, a lot of people aren't very aggressive, like to play east to west out on the perimeter. But I feel like teams that dominate like to play north to south. So going towards the basket, driving towards the basket, playing an inside game. I feel like you definitely need that in this conference.
And that seems to be Piedmont's specialty this year. Maybe not necessarily by choice. The three balls just have not been falling. Team three-point percentage extremely low. Field goal percentage not much better. That's a big miss. Scott on cue. Long two-pointer there for her. Will go. That's much needed. Again, Ashley Scott played a lot of meaningful minutes here in Demers senior year, averaging almost 10 points, but the field goal percentage and three-point percentage lowest, near the lowest point in her career at this point. So it's good to see her finally get that bucket. That is a tough turnaround jump shot. What's one thing, Amari, as you see a tough shot similar to one you used to make all the time, what's one thing you really miss about playing?
Just the team camaraderie. I just love being around my teammates, being around my coach. That's always something that you like to do. Once you get out in the real world, you don't see your friends as much as you do whenever you're on a team. So yeah.
You don't get to spend every waking moment with them. That's a jump ball, and it will be a turnover because of the possession arrow. We'll head to the first media break of the third quarter. We're tied 41-41. Amari, thank you so much for joining me up here.
Thanks for having me.